Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the award winning recovery podcast, Get in the Herd, brought to you by the McShin Foundation. My name is Nathan Mitchell, and today I have with me an extra special guest host, co host with me, Monique How do you say your last name?
It's Runge. I mean, I don't really care as long as you don't say Runge.
Well, I want to say, I care. My name is my
Uh,
name.
I
I don't
mean,
want you to call me something different.
Runge, I guess. Yeah,
Definitely don't want you to
Runge.
call me late for dinner.
Oh,
All right. Hey, but our special guest today is Doug. Doug, I always pronounce your last name wrong too, man. I'm striking out today.
Doug Levy.
Levy, yeah.
Yep.
So Doug.
I was gonna say Levy. So.
I've been called worse. Trust me.
Yeah, right. Oh my
know?
gosh. Well, you're in recovery. I get
Exactly.
it. Yeah. Well, and I always think of the song "Drove My Chevy to the Levee," and that's why I get stuck every single time. But
Hold on, Monique. You know that song?
No.
Oh boy, we got to do some work.
We got a youngin.
We got it.
wow, wow. So,
Rather be young than old.
well, Doug Levy is joining us today. Doug is with the Phoenix. You are, well, tell us, what do you do with the Phoenix?
So I'm a national partnerships manager. So we work with a lot of different treatment centers, recovery community organizations, and anybody to partner with where we can bring Phoenix programming to them, and then they can get plugged into the Phoenix community.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So basically, you get to play all day.
I get to play all day. I get to meet a lot of cool people. I get to talk about the Phoenix, something I'm very passionate about, and get to talk about recovery. So it's good to be here.
That's a win-win-win all the way around.
Yeah, man.
So today you came to Richmond.
Yes, sir.
You're based up in Northern Virginia, right?
Yep, I'm in Falls Church.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice area. Very expensive. I'm from Well, long story, but I spent a lot of time in Northern Virginia. So welcome down to Central Virginia again. You have decided with Monique to sort of create a monthly partnership here at the McShin Foundation to put together programming that benefits our participants and eventually we'll bring in other participants from other organizations, right?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yep.
Tell us, what did you guys do today?
So
Because I sat on my butt upstairs.
We
So-
should have brought cookies, and then he would have come.
but the question is, did he go swimming this morning?
No, I did not. But I am
Okay.
going tonight.
Okay.
I have
see?
an appointment for
What
this
There you
had
evening.
go.
happened was that's what I heard.
Yeah. Exactly. So
See, what had happened was
yeah.
What happened?
Let's just back up a little bit. And so the Phoenix, right?
Yeah,
We're-
tell us about the Phoenix
we
and
are
what y'all
a
did today.
national nonprofit,
Mm.
right? And we provide activities for anybody with 48 hours of recovery.
Mm.
And 48 hours of sobriety is the only requirement for membership. So our activities look like a variety of different things. We do yoga, we do CrossFit, we have running groups, we have group meditation, we do book clubs, we do, you name it, we do it. If it's
Book clubs.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I like
we have an
that.
awesome book club that goes on online.
Is it competitive? Is it like competitive reading?
It could be.
I'm
You know?
I'm down for it.
So basically, if you have an idea, you want to sign up as a volunteer, you can lead competitive book clubbing.
I am from New Jersey. I can talk competitive. I can't even talk
You
now.
can't.
I
I would put you up against Chris Bellina any day.
Ah,
and
Chris
Bellina,
Bellina!
yeah, Chris Bellina will take you down.
shout out Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we did today is, I came down here a couple months ago, a month and a half ago, introed the Phoenix to the wonderful McShin community. It was a wonderful time. Nathan's got this beautiful mug, Yeti. He absolutely look for it every single day on the podcast.
It's
please.
every day I
Every
have it.
single
Every
day.
time I'm on the podcast, I have the Yeti from the Phoenix. But okay, so I'm sorry. I'm ADD
that's okay.
today.
That's okay. And we did some intro. We took a walk in the park. It
Mhm.
was a good time, and that's just what we do at the Phoenix.
We had a really beautiful day that day. It
Yeah.
was it? What was it? That in December?
It was November.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really unseasonabally warm that day.
Right.
Great
and,
walk.
And you got to meet the herd.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the park. So we had a little combined Phoenix
Oh,
getting the
that's
herd. Right.
We did.
I met Monique that day, which
Mm.
is awesome. And Monique and I have stayed in touch, and we decided to come up with this Wellness Wednesday idea. So we're going to come down here each month, kind of figure out some different activities that are in the realm of some of the things that Phoenix offers, things that can provide value to the McShin community. So today we started out with a little body weight movement, Tabata. Got everybody moving a little bit. We did.
Tabata.
It
well,
does not. It's not as fun as it sounds.
Whoa.
Tabatas are fun.
It's a fun word.
Justin, you know
but it was not a
Tabatas?
fun activity.
It sounds like drums.
Yeah, it can
But
be like drums. So
I've never
20.
heard of Tabatas.
So
Yeah.
you want to know about this? So we
Please.
did 20 seconds of movement, 20 seconds of rest, 20 seconds of movement, 20 seconds of rest, 20 seconds of movement. So we did air squats, planks, push-ups, and sit-ups.
Wow.
Sounds easy, right?
It's the longest 15 minutes of
No.
my life.
Yeah. Good 15 minutes, got everybody moving. And then we took that in and we went and did a brief 5-minute gratitude meditation with one of our Phoenix virtual instructors.
Oh, wow.
So Kim jumped in and did that. And then Monique had
Shannon.
Shannon.
Mhm.
I don't know the name of her business.
I honestly forgot her last name, but that is Dixie. She's our director of female program. That's her aunt.
Okay.
And she actually comes out and does a yoga class every Tuesday with the females. So it was really cool to be able to incorporate her for the Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah,
It's
so we did some awesome yoga.
Mhm.
Nice. Well, so I am 45, about to be 28. No, about to be 46 in a few months. I did a lot of damage to myself during my addiction. I'm not as strong as I was. I'm slower. What can the Phoenix offer somebody like me who immediately bristles when I hear the word um, I can't even remember the word.
Tabata.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Woo!
one thing about Phoenix, there's many things about Phoenix, but our guiding principles, it's called FEPSIA. You're gonna remember that, right?
Fepsia?
FEPSIA with an
Fepsia.
F. So all
Fepsia.
Phoenix activities are fun.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fun.
Right? Emotionally and physically safe, right?
Emotionally and physically
Inclusive
safe.
and
Inclusive
accessible.
and accessible.
Fun, emotionally, physically safe, inclusive, and accessible. That's FEPSIA,
Fepsia.
right?
Did you
Pretty
guys make
cool.
up that word?
Yeah, I mean, we're some of the most creative people.
mean-
I would take credit, but it came. It's
I
been
was
around.
like thinking about it, and I was like, is that really a word that I don't know? Or
I don't think it's in the dictionary.
it's
but
definitely
it's not
not.
in the
I think I
dictionary.
had Pepsia when I was 4. But then I took a pill and I got rid of it. Yeah.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So what we can do for you is that we meet you wherever you are. So we did a little bit today, and there's different ways to scale movements.
Yeah.
There's different ways to modify. We can come around. We can do some individualized. I can speak.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Individualized coaching. And there's basically whatever you can do, we can meet you there and introduce it, the movements to you, and then scale to where you want to be.
Gotcha.
And that's why, and Phoenix is more than just a workout. Phoenix is really a community. So we're a sober, active community with a really heavy emphasis on the community. So have you heard the whole recovery capital movement that, John Kelly, David Best, those folks?
Yeah, we talk about recovery capital a lot in this building.
Right. So Phoenix is recovery capital.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're a group of people who are in sustained recovery, right? We're open to all pathways to recovery. And we're out there with the community doing healthy activities. So that healthy activity could be a walk. That healthy activity could be meeting friends for coffee. That healthy activity could be CrossFit. So, there's a variety of different levels. So you and I are going to meet for a cup of coffee. Monique and I are going to do some yoga together, and Justin and I are going to go bench press 350. That's what I'm talking about.
Sure. I've been known to try all three.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not bench pressing 350 right now.
Neither am I.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, so
I will.
there you go. There we go. Do it for us. What I love is, I've known about the Phoenix now for about 2 years. And I was first introduced. I think you know the story, Doug, and Monique, you probably do too. I ran into Chris Spallina. Actually, I'm not sure how I ran into Chris, but we ran into somewhere online. We came across each other, and I was on my way to New Jersey as part of my trip around the country in 2020. And Chris reached out to me, and we had an intention to meet up and get together, and I was going to do an event, and then I had car issues. Long story, we didn't end up meeting up. However, the introduction to the Phoenix, and while I traveled around the country, was important to me because I did end up meeting a former staff member, Campbell Lillard.
Oh yeah.
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 In Dallas, in Plano, Texas,
Mhm.
and I did a walk with them there, which was also my sister met too. And it was the first time I'd seen my sister in a few years. It was a great opportunity, not only for us to catch up, but we were really welcomed with open arms. And you see me wear old T-shirts. Those are where I got those from. And felt open, safe. Felt like I was with my people, and there was no pressure to go faster or slower. We were all coming from different places, and we were all there to do the same thing. And it was a beautiful evening. It was sunset in a little estuary. Estuary. There's your word for the
Estuary.
day.
There you
Mm.
go.
And it was a wonderful experience. And so from that, I have I don't know if I did another in-person event during the trip, but I did several of the meditation and a couple of the workout ones too. Because I know for me, I get nervous exercising with other people. It's just, I'm getting older and fatter and blah blah blah. I tell these stories to myself, and yet every time I go into a Phoenix online group, I feel welcomed. I feel safe. I feel included, and I don't feel pressured to do something that I my body won't allow me to do. But I do feel challenged, which is a good thing too. So I love the online. I mean, I'm a big giant online guy, and I love that you're bringing this in person. And I know that we talked about possibly doing an 8K, and I'm like, well, I don't know about that, because I did train for a marathon years ago, and about 60 pounds ago, and yeah, I know, right? But I love that because it's so important to include that physical, well, all of it together, but that physical thing that we bring into it, but spiritual, the mental comes in, especially with the mindfulness and the meditation. How What was your first introduction with the Phoenix? How did you come to find this place?
So I'm glad you brought up, the virtual offerings that we happen
Hmm.
that we offer. I'll get to my story in a little bit,
Sorry.
but I was just talking to Honesty, and we were talking about the Women's House, and a lot of people were interested in the yoga and different meditations. There's at least 10 classes, pretty much, that happen every single day, on the hour, every hour, a variety of different things, and it's amazing. And that was my intro to yoga as well. I was scared to death to do those movements in public.
Right. Yeah.
So I tried them, in the comfort of my own home with a Phoenix instructor. And now it's like one of the key tenets to my whole physical routine is doing some yoga. So I first found out about Phoenix. So if we back all the way up, my sobriety date is September 6th, 2009.
Wow.
And so I got
You were
sober.
4 at the time, right?
Yeah, something around there. So I got sober after being arrested for my third DUI in 10 years. And through that process, I went to jail. I did a lot of treatment, and I was in an outpatient group, and I stayed there for a long time. I made a connection to a counselor there, and I kept staying through the group. It was a 16-week program, and I stayed and I stayed, and finally said, "Okay, like you got to grow up a little bit. You like this so much. Why don't you try? There's this thing called peer recovery coaching."
Mm.
So I went through, all of those classes and those trainings, and I was a peer recovery coach up in Fairfax County, Virginia, where I live. And I was working with the counselor there, and I'd go in once a week and help him a family group on Monday nights. And at the end of the groups, we would put on a video, just something dealing with recovery. And one week, he put on a video of Jackie Helios, who's the deputy executive director of the Phoenix, her TED Talk. And a couple of months before that, I had started running. My boss had gotten us entries into the Marine Corps Marathon 10K, not full
Woo!
marathon, just
Okay.
the 10K. And I hadn't run since I played soccer in high school. And I wasn't really physically active. That all disappeared after, getting heavily involved in drinking and drugs. And so I started running, and I could basically make it a block, and then I'd have to walk, and then I'd make it 2 blocks, and I'd have to walk and be like, God, I don't know what this is all about. And I finally got up to like 2 miles. So I was like, okay. When I crossed 3 miles, all of a sudden my brain started to calm down for the first time. So
Mm.
I'd been through AA and I'd been through treatment, and everybody had talked to me about meditation, and I wasn't ever able to like calm down and focus until that moment when I crossed that 3 miles. Right.
Mm.
So the good addict that I am, I now run marathons, ultra marathons. I pursue that calmness in my brain in a lot of different ways. And that's kind of what Jackie's TED Talk was about the connection to the body, the physical movement, finding community, all of those different things. And I was cleaning up in the back of the room, and my head snapped around. And I said, I have to go find them. And I did some research. I found out they were starting. We started in Denver in 2006, and this was 2014 or so. And they were getting very involved in Boston. So our executive director had grown up in Boston, got sober in Boston. So I have a cousin up there, and I flew up there, and I found where they were doing the workout, and I just showed up. And from there, I was connected. So we maintained a connection. I kept interested. I went out to Denver a couple years later to see Scott Strode, our founder and executive director, his TED Talk. Stayed plugged in for a while, and then this last year, I started volunteering with the Phoenix, and that volunteering opened up into a new role, and here I am with you today.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
an incredible story.
Yeah.
That's an incredible journey too. Monique, Wednesdays. What do we call it? Wellness Wednesday?
Wellness Wednesdays.
What is now that you've had an opportunity to meet Doug and to be introduced to the Phoenix and all the opportunities, to participate, what do you see as a way that well, first, what does recovery and wellness mean to you? And second, how can we bring, what y'all are doing today, more into the community here in Richmond?
Well, for me, wellness and recovery go hand in hand because you can't just be abstinent, right? Like we know that.
Oh, but we can, and we get
We
really grumpy, don't we?
yeah, but it's like mind, body, and
Oof,
spirit.
yeah.
I feel like is very important as recovery as a whole. It's all parts of one whole. And so to get that wellness part, and it kind of opens up the spirituality for a lot of people
Yeah.
because a lot of people are kind of closed off to that at the beginning of their recovery. And so now with this awesome partnership that we're starting, we already kind of do, we call them transformational Tuesdays at the women's intensive program house.
Oh.
Where it's kind of like, breath work, meditation, mindfulness, yoga.
See, the only thing we have over here is French Fry Friday.
So
We like alliteration, right?
yeah. I mean, we gotta include the guys with some of this. I know sometimes the guys can be a little bit more closed off to it, right? But like
Ooh.
they can be. You guys are a little
Well,
testy sometimes.
but it depends on what it is. I
Yes.
don't know that I agree with that, but okay.
No, but with Wellness Wednesday, and Phoenix has so many different offerings, I feel like if we just dip our toes into it like once a month, start it out, give people all these different options, you might find something that works for you. Maybe it might not be CrossFit, it might be yoga, or it might be yoga and not CrossFit, or it could be breath work, it could be Reiki, it could be acupuncture, it could be all of these different things. But we just haven't had the space to do that or the opportunity. So now, it's an awesome opportunity for two nonprofits to get together to try to bring all of these pieces of the whole together to help our recovery community. And
Yeah.
starting with McShin, and then hopefully goes out from that. We have the opportunity to get other people involved as well.
That's a fantastic assessment of that, and you're right. I mean, it's tough because space is difficult. But there's a piece that often it's we all have these great ideas, and it's commitment to an idea that it can be a character defect in a lot of us in early recovery. We want to do all the things, and we don't have the time, or we just don't have the capacity or the skill set, or other priorities come in, and that's normal too. So one of those things being, hey, I want to be I want to work on myself and my personal fitness, and oh, by the way, let me bring this and help with the other people do that. It's like, eesh, I get all the great ideas, and then suddenly I have to follow through with the great ideas. So I'm really grateful that you are taking this on. This is I know it's important. I know it's not only important to our participants and people in the recovery community here in Richmond, but it's important for me personally. I need to get more involved in this stuff, and watching how easy it is, to just sign up online, to participate through a class, through a Zoom or whatever. Is that the platform we use, Zoom, for these?
Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do that, or show up and to be able to just do yoga on a Wednesday after, Wednesday morning, I guess. What a cool thing to do and have available for our staff, for me, for our participants, and for other people in the community. Ideally, in a perfect world, what would you like to see here in Richmond as far as the Phoenix and priorities? Ooh.
That's a good
I
question.
know.
It's a very good question. So I think it's the same thing that we want to see everywhere. And I was going to say United States, but we now have programming in Canada and South Korea.
Wait, what? South
Yeah,
Korea?
on a military
Okay.
base. Yeah,
Ah, that's awesome, though.
yeah,
Passport
right,
shorties.
right.
Yeah.
And what we're really building is a movement, right?
Yeah.
And I strongly believe, and I know that McShin is also believes in this recovery movement. Um, all you have to do is open the papers and read what's going on or what's happened in the last year. And so our mission is to be there, to be of service, to help build community, to help whoever it is that's looking for recovery, that's looking for a healthy activity, that's looking for a new community. We want to be there. And so to create a movement, and we're in, I'm gonna, as soon as I say the number, it's gonna be wrong. 32 states, 85 communities.
I do that all the
So
time. Yeah.
well, it's because
You keep going.
the 86th started this morning or something. I just
Uh-huh.
don't know. It's continuing to grow, so we want to bring that to Richmond. I'm extremely dedicated. I grew up in Southern California, but I went to JMU. I live in Falls Church. Virginia's home. And for me to be able to spread what I found through my own journey, and then by joining the Phoenix and be able to help spread that message where my home is, would mean nothing more to me.
Yeah. And you say California. I'm going to point up there. The picture's not up there, but the pictures I was looking through earlier today, I saw, was it a run at Big Sur?
Yeah. Big Sur
Yeah.
Marathon 2017.
Oh, have you been to Big Sur?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
drove through. I didn't. Everything was kind of closed down when I
Oh
was
my
there in
God.
2020. But oh wow, is that beautiful?
Yeah.
A
And I
full
want to go back.
marathon?
Full marathon.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
and we're talking.
So we're talking, it's basically, so it ends in Carmel.
Oh
So,
yeah.
right. So 26.2 miles
Okay.
south, and they take you on a bus. They drop you off. They say, "We'll see you later. Run
Oh
back."
my God.
And wait, are you running up Route 1?
You run up Route
Oh
One. They close
wow.
it for that day.
And it's that okay. So anybody out there listening right now, if you don't know what the Pacific Coast Highway is in
It's the
California,
most beautiful.
it is stunning. Oh, it is absolutely the most beautiful. It was when I took my trip last a couple years ago. I was one of my favorite parts. But it is not a nice, flat, straight road. We're
Very
talking
windy.
steep. We're talking drops.
Mhm.
We're talking windy. We're talking blind. We're talking fog. How on earth? A marathon?
A marathon. So they call it running on the ragged edge of the Western world.
Which that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And that's the picture you had has an elevation chart for the route.
Uh-huh.
And so it starts, you actually, the first 5 miles, it's actually a little bit of a downhill,
Okay.
which is
Oh, wow.
completely misleading,
Oh,
because
yeah.
then you start the little undulations, and then at mile 10 you start climbing Hurricane Point.
Oh,
And
God.
so I don't remember the exact
I'm
climb on that,
tired
Me
already.
too.
right? But there's this ritualistic drummers at the bottom of Hurricane Point, getting the beat going. So,
That sounds like a blast.
yeah, it's an
Yeah.
absolute blast. And then you come up and you round it, and then at the halfway point, 13.1, you're crossing the Bixby Bridge, which is the iconic bridge that's
Yeah.
in all the photos. And there's a piano player there, and so it's kind of like the next little thing. And then on the back half, you get a little bit of flat, but then in Carmel, it is nothing but hills.
Oh,
And I will tell you that in marathon running, the uphills are not the challenge. It's the downhills. The
okay.
downhills wear on your legs after time. So I ran Boston
Yeah. I
this
can see
last year.
that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
I ran Boston this last year, and it's a net downhill. And by the end of it, I think I stopped afterwards to take a picture, find my family and everything. Starting again to just walk back to the hotel, that was a little challenging.
Mm.
So it's definitely a journey. But crossing the finish line at any marathon or any race that you do, it's a 5K or anything, but especially a marathon. For me this year in Boston, it's like the greatest feeling you can ever have.
Wow.
And I equate my running to sobriety. It's something that I found in sobriety. It's enhanced my sobriety. It's just I can't describe it. So what we're
Yeah.
gonna do is we're all gonna sign up for different distances at the Richmond Marathon,
Mm.
so that everybody can experience that little thing with me. You're in, right, Justin?
As long as I can sign up for like 20 feet,
Yeah, you're good.
30
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
Well,
That checks
what we'll
out.
do is a little team, right? You guys just extend, right, all the way through
Right.
the course.
And I'm even open to maybe a couple of yards.
Okay, we'll work on
Joel,
all
let's
of
not
that.
get crazy.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but I've decided to start pushing myself, and that's one way that I'm going to do it. Me and Teresa both are adding more cardio into our workouts. So
Can I
recommend that?
Can I swim part of the marathon?
So they have these things called Ironmans and
Yeah.
triathlons. That's there. There you go.
And then also, what are what I know the components? It's what, bike,
Bike,
running.
run, swim.
Uh,
Yep.
Is there, what are the lengths?
I don't. So
But don't
there's
you-
different lanes. Yeah, there's like.
Oh, is it
yeah.
different?
don't you have to carry your bike on your back, like
When you're swimming?
running or swimming, and
Not
like,
in.
No.
I don't know that I've seen that one. I'll tell you that I'm not a good
well,
swimmer.
how do you? So I guess maybe your bike is waiting.
Your
for
bike's
you,
waiting
you-
for you.
Or
yeah,
you bike
yeah.
first, and then you're like, all right, chuck this shit.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah. I believe it starts with the swim.
Oh,
So,
oh,
yeah.
okay,
So certain ones of them is like a 2 mile open swim,
okay.
which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot.
Oh no, it's a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing about 3 miles on the weekends, the last couple weeks, and it's a lot.
Yeah. So here's a question for you, Nathan.
Mm.
What does swimming do for you?
Well, so you mentioned that 3 mile mark, and so I do have experience training for a marathon years ago. I backed out. I got to about the 8 mile mark, and I realized I was just running. Form was bad, and I was getting shin splints, and I backed out. But I get that feeling of they call it runner's high, right?
Mhm.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, and it's sort of like a clarity. I'm just now starting to feel that in my swimming, because I've only started taking this on as a regular practice since October, and I being over 40, I'm not necessarily pushing myself to go fast. I'm pushing myself for consistency, but calm. I take it as more meditative than anything. Except now, what I'll do is, I throw in all right, I'm going to just punch this last lap, and it's always towards the end. I'm just going to punch this and just to get it in there, and then usually when I do that, I'm like, all right, I can do 3 or 4 or 5 more laps. I'll do that sometimes. So yeah, that's where I'm starting to develop that. I'm starting to get that calm, that getting past the, oh, I gotta do this, and the, oh, I get to do this piece for me. I did miss this morning, and I'll tell you, I did we reserve it with an app online. We reserve the lanes, and I did cancel my reservation this morning, and I made it for tonight. And I did that because I was up late last night working,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, I don't like that about me. It's like I'll make allowances for myself, and I do this, and then I beat myself up, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I can't do this. I won't do this. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no. I'm just gonna schedule for this evening. I love going in the evening too. I can schedule that. I can get out. I reward myself with some time in the jacuzzi, and there's a steam room where yeah, girl, because yeah. Oh no, I would just go and sit in the steam room, really.
Yeah.
Because
It's really good for your pores.
it is good for the pores.
Yeah.
But what I'm finding is, first of all, I'm 45, and I keep saying that, but my father had his first heart attack at 50.
Okay.
So it's in my that's a motivating factor for me right now. And I realized that my lungs were crap. All the smoking and the drugs I've done,
Mhm.
the inhaled drugs I've done over the years, I now, especially with the steam room, but like swimming, I'm very intentional with how I breathe. I'm very intentional with switching up the stroke so that I'm expanding my chest and opening my lungs a lot. And I'm very intentional with how I swim to make myself healthier, not to make myself faster or stronger necessarily. And it's gratifying to me. It's not as scary. It's not scary and intimidating like it used to be. And that's with a lot of things. There's a certain acceptance of, I'm always going to be 5'4.5". I'm not going to change that. Well,
And a half.
that half inch is important,
It
girl.
is.
Ask
It is.
any man that
It
half
is.
inch is important.
I'm 5'1" and 3/4.
Oh well,
Oh, there's a 3/4.
Damn.
The
Yeah.
3/4. Yep.
3/4.
well, and I know that I have the potential to shrink over time too. That's gonna happen. Yeah.
Doug, I have a question.
All
Yeah.
right.
And you don't have to speak on personal experience if you don't want.
Oh, I love questions like that.
Yeah.
So runner's trots. Is that a thing?
So okay, this is there's a group of 5, it's sometimes 6, or we've actually recruited a few more that run every Sunday. We're all in recovery.
Okay.
We get out and we do a lot of trail running, and that's the whole ultra. I recommend trail running because a lot of it is actually walking. When you're on the trails, you don't run
Now,
up
I can
those
get
hills.
down with that.
I can
Right?
get down with that too.
So it's like a hike, but you're moving your legs a little bit
Yeah.
faster, right?
Okay,
So that's how you
alright.
can get it.
Okay.
And we have a friend that inevitably at some point, so not the trots, but nature calls,
Right,
And
right.
so, it's like, okay, well, we're going to run up and back. And, he does this thing. So he signed up to do a marathon. It'll be his first one. And it's at the end of the month. And we're trying, like, what are you going to do? Like,
How are you going to handle
so,
this?
I mean, there are porta potties and all that different stuff, but I mean, the body is just the body.
Yeah.
So I can tell you from personal experience, runner's trots, no, not so much. My college roommate from JMU, he's got these great stories. He used to live in Florida after graduation for a little bit. And in Florida in the summer, you don't go out,
At
once
all.
the sun comes up.
Yeah.
So he was out, at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. So it was always a little dicey. And there's a story of one day, on somebody's front lawn and those kind. Yeah. So those things definitely happen, right? But with my friend who's going to be doing this marathon, there is 100% a strategy and a way to train the body to make sure that everything is functioning properly once you hit the start line.
Okay.
Is that good?
Okay.
Is that a
That's
good answer?
That's good.
All right.
Well,
There
that's
you go.
good. That was a really
I mean,
good question.
it's always a healthy thing to talk about poop.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
always healthy to talk about poop, especially pooping yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
No, since I've gotten sober, I don't think I pooped myself. Yeah.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could say that.
Yeah. I'm very, I feel good about that.
Well,
Yeah.
fair enough. What about that's a good question, Justin. I want to know about bleeding nipples.
So that's you got to be careful.
Well,
there's a combination.
Wait, what?
It-
I
yeah.
know about the pooping, but
Oh,
the
So
no,
bleeding
depending upon
I have lived
weather,
experience on that.
sweating,
Mhm.
and attire, because things happen and there's a lot of
Friction.
Oh.
chafing,
Chafing.
those kind
Wow.
of things. Vaseline cures all ills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely do that. But they have things like Body Glide now. So
Yes.
you use Body Glide. My favorite brand of that is called Squirrel's Nut Butter. I
I like that name.
Yep.
It's a pretty
So
good name.
Squirrel's Nut Butter.
Woo!
There's a plug for them. I'm happy to be sponsored. I'll wear your shirt.
He'll wear the nut butter.
Yeah, I do wear the nut butter. So
All right. Well, and here's another question, perhaps a little less disgusting,
yeah.
but also equally scary in my head. And this has happened to me, and so has the bloody nipples. Do you get salt on your head?
So yeah, I mean, when you sweat that much, it's
Yeah.
definitely salty. So the first time
But like big chunks of
no,
it.
I don't. Not
I've
as
had
many
that.
big
I've
chunks.
had
Yeah,
that,
I've heard and seen, but the first time I noticed that was post race or something, and I was back home, and my dog just really wanted to lick my. I was like, oh yeah, that's what she's after. I see. Let's
So
take a
that
She
shower.
loves
salty
me
head.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah,
Aw.
plugged a little Mona. She just turned 16, so
Aw,
Yeah,
what
she's
kind of dog
amazing.
is she?
she's a mix. We think there's a border collie, beagle, something else in there. So the mix is
a border collie and a beagle mix.
yeah, she's something.
That's a very needy dog. Well,
She
in a good way, a very
yeah.
attention-seeking dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a shirt that says I like dogs and about 3 people.
Yeah.
And if you want to know about my
That's-
personality, there you go.
That's a very
I want to know who those 3 people
fair
are.
statement.
Because we're 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
You know,
Honesty's got to be the
there's
other.
like
so.
room for maybe one more,
Yeah, we can grow.
possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But the truth is, I do love people, and being in this job, I get to meet all kinds of people. I get to meet people that have gone through a lot of the same things that I've gone through, learn about different kinds of journey, and really be there to make an impact in a life. So the truth is, I really do like people. Yeah.
We won't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We don't get any reach here anyway.
No.
Well, actually, so do you know about our reach and what we do? So the
Mhm.
our primary audience, our largest audience, and it's becoming now intentional, is individuals who are currently incarcerated.
Mhm.
And so, for that, we are very intentional in bringing a message of hope and, strategies for people who might be, in a situation now where they don't have access to maybe even the internet, or weights and running and all that stuff. What would you say to individuals who are in those, what would you say to incarcerated people now? What can they do to help with their mental well-being, their health, all the well-being stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, as a person who spent some time uh, incarcerated, I can tell you that there is hope. There is another side, and at the Phoenix, we have what's called the Justice League, and
I love that.
yeah,
I
so
love that.
Chris Spallina is a part of
Of
that, and we
course
have
he is. I
yeah,
love you, Chris.
and we have a number of different individuals who have been incarcerated. I believe Campbell Lillard was a part of that.
Okay.
Um,
He's doing big things, isn't
yeah, he's doing really big things. I've never met him, but I've definitely followed and seen some of the things that he's done. And so we, the Phoenix, actually have partnerships with a number of different jails, and there's a platform called Adovo, which brings Phoenix content behind the walls.
Oh yeah.
So, if the
Awesome.
people that are administrators of jails are listening to this, we'd love to talk to you and we can help out.
Yeah.
And if that's not an opportunity, there's a lot of different things that you can do. I know, when I was first there, I was in my cell 23 out of the 24 hours of the day,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of space. There's not a lot of options to do anything. So I would, just do push-ups against the wall, or, just whatever I could do to get a little bit of movement in the body. I read a lot.
Yeah, I
I
did
tried
too.
to I tried to just rest. I tried to calm my brain from trying to figure everything out. Um,
Yeah,
and
and there's not a lot that makes sense in
yeah,
jail.
there's nothing that makes
There's not a
sense.
lot.
You know, I was even trying to figure out, is there a routine here? Do we get fed? I couldn't figure anything out. And my brain was so cloudy. So, being on the other side of it now, there's a lot of different strategies. I think if I were to go back to, and be able to talk to myself all those years ago of, find different ways to connect, gratitude lists, what am I grateful for? um, how can I change? What can I change? How can I make an impact to somebody else? Who can I help? Those kind of things. So one of the benefits for me when I was incarcerated was I speak Spanish, and in the Arlington County Detention Center, there were a lot of Spanish speaking. So there was a communication barrier. So I was actually able to help out every now and then and be able to translate. That felt good. That was something.
Yeah.
And that one thing maybe got me through the day.
Yeah. Because that's what it really is.
Hmm.
At least for me, is finding some purpose
Yeah.
to the day. And I know when I was in jail, it just didn't seem easy to find purpose. And I love what you're saying. That's right. Just one little thing. We have some comments. I see there's a fresh one there. I know Honesty said Shannon is with Mobile
Wellness.
Wellness. I love
Tabata
it.
is fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Monique is a queen. So proud
Yep.
of you, girl, says Alyssa McEwen.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Alyssa. Meg says, I am so grateful to be an
That's
alumni
her
of
name is
McShin.
Margaret, but I
I
told
know,
her
right? Isn't that weird?
why it's her initials.
Yeah. So I am so grateful to be an alumni of McShin. It is an amazing place and does amazing things. Hey, Nathan, Justin, and Monique. And
Look at
we'll
that.
include Doug in there. And exercise and mindfulness is my biggest pathway for my recovery, says Honesty Liller. And abso-freaking-lutely,
That
I
is
see
a
that.
pathway
Yeah.
for sure.
We had a run club here on Wednesdays, and ever since Bob left, and I think Jesse tried to maintain as part of the run club, but I'm not going to throw shade because I certainly didn't.
Jesse was part of the run club.
Yeah,
Those who
Okay.
are
Yeah.
know about
All
Run
right.
Club
I think
don't
he
talk
miss.
about Run Club.
Yeah, I think he might. Right, they don't talk about. I think he misread it as running back club.
Ah,
Oh,
that makes sense.
got it.
There
was-
you go. I'm gonna be.
that
Yeah, that was a good one. I got to give you credit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't usually do sports metaphors.
Yeah.
That's way out of my comfort zone there. Boy, I just had this conversation with somebody earlier today too. Anyway,
Well, I'm gonna forget the group that Monique brought up to me yesterday, right? What was that group called? That they do some run clubs in
Oh
town.
yeah, Journey House. They do a run club
Okay.
at 4:30 on Mondays. I don't know where it is. I personally am not a fan of running, but I am a fan of cheering you guys on while you run, and I will be there to welcome you with open arms
Yeah.
and water at the end.
That's
Orange,
it.
orange
You
juice
know?
slices.
What?
Oh,
Orange
orange
juice
slices.
slices,
Orange
Yeah.
slices
Yeah.
sound great, or little cuties.
I want them
They're the
now.
best.
If any, can we just like have people outside the door as we leave the show, and
That is
Giving
what
us
I
orange
want.
slices.
and a
Yes,
towel
please,
and
serve me.
drying off our foreheads? Yeah,
Yes.
I like
That's how
this.
you know you're really getting places, right? And actually, we could get that sponsored. Orange slices brought
That's
to you
actually
by.
in our riders.
Yeah.
I know, I
We
want a
will not
rider.
show up.
I want a rider
without
that's
the
like
orange
only
slices.
green M&Ms,
Yeah.
something like that. So that's a good question though, because we were talking. That's a good question, man. I am so ADD. What are the exercises and the things that you do for your wellness that you like?
Well, I just now I'm getting back into yoga. My physical activity for me fell off. I had brain surgery in 2020. So like for me it's been really big to get back active, and it's like it makes me feel good cuz when you're stuck and you can't really move a lot, that's when you fall really. For me, that was my darkest place with my addiction. So it's been really refreshing for me to be able to get active again. But to be honest with you, my favorite activity is hula hooping. Like I'm a huge I like to fire hoop. Like I love hooping in general.
Wait! Fire hoop, is that a hoop on fire?
Yes, they're like fire spokes on it.
Wait, you can do
I
this?
Yes, I'm
I
kind
need
of
to
a
know more.
professional.
Yeah.
I
you
need
know,
to know more.
I'm kind of a professional circus freak, like Ariel. No, I'm serious, you guys.
Wait, what?
I was an insured fire performer.
That's amazing.
Wait, how do I not
Do you-
know this?
The things that this podcast
I-
uncovers.
I traveled like the country. I used to work and perform at and do performance coordinating and like production at festivals.
Why am I not surprised that you're a circus freak?
I don't know. I used to live.
Is
I used
freak
to,
the right
Wow.
term?
No, it is because
Okay.
look, when like we used to like stay at this warehouse and there was 9 of us and we called it the bazaar.
Okay.
And there were a bunch of like fire performers. We had 2 DJs that lived there.
I want to go to that party.
Yeah,
Like, I
so-
want to be there now.
Yeah.
We can work on that.
Yeah.
We should bring some hula hoops in for Wellness
I
Wednesday.
actually-
This is what I'm
look,
talking about.
Can we bring
actually-
fire hoops?
No, I actually
That's Monique's job. Yeah.
I actually brought 2 hula hoops back to the intensive house like last March when I was there. And there's one of them is still out of there. One of them did not make it because I guess someone there was in their feelings and threw it somewhere in the woods. But one of them is still there, alive and well, and it was being used like a month ago.
By
That's
the
awesome.
chickens?
No,
No, by the people.
no, by someone. Yeah.
Okay.
So I never knew about the brain surgery because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm a brain tumor survivor as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it for me. It was a big part of like my self-esteem. Like my head was shaved. I like literally could not do physical activity for months. So I gained a lot of weight, and I had to take speech therapy. Like my speech was really off, my reading, my cognitive skills were just shot. So for me, just being able to get back to active and like reading, like it's just been my self-esteem has just gone up so much because it's just you kind of sit there and you just feel so helpless, that was honestly that was the first time that I tried to get sober myself, and I couldn't. I was so sad that like that was like literally all my life consisted of, because before it was like, yeah, I would travel, I would do all this stuff, but like literally having to sit with myself, and I had no other choice but to sit with myself. I literally couldn't. I hated it so much. So now the activity, like just moving just means a lot. Like, I'm just so thankful. I can go up the stairs, I can read. So it's like, yeah, get some nice sunshine and grab a hula hoop. It's like my favorite.
That,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. So when I finished that big Sur Marathon, I had gone there with a little blurriness in my left eye. 6 months later, I had emergency brain surgery to remove a tumor that was sitting on my pituitary gland and crushing my optic nerves and right next to my carotid artery. So same kind of thing. And I was used to running marathons and being active and everything else like that. And then all of a sudden, I had a grabber, because I couldn't
Mhm.
move. I had to have somebody with me at all times. And to slowly build back and all of I understand exactly what you mean with that.
Yeah.
My body didn't work the right way. I tried to go out for a walk and I couldn't even make it.
Mm.
And here I am. I just passed, 4.5 years since that. Unfortunately, the tumor's still sitting in there, but it's on medicine, and we keep a close eye on it. But I just ran another marathon and doing all of those different things. So there's plenty of hope,
Yeah.
and I think hope. Just hearing that it's the same thing in recovery. When I walked in to my first meeting, and I said, I thought I was the worst person in the world because I had 3 DUIs. Nobody gets 3 DUIs. And at the first meeting, there's a guy across the room saying that he had 6. It's like, oh, and you've been sober for 20 years?
Mhm.
Oh my God, there's hope. Right. So, and I see all those different things. And I think just, hearing stories and sharing stories just builds hope.
For sure.
That's remarkable. I didn't know any of that about. Well, I knew about your story a little bit. I didn't know anything about your story, and I'm
Mhm.
so grateful to that you shared that with us, and to know that about you because I would never have known that.
I've been really kind of like self-conscious about it for so long because it was a really long recovery. I mean, so April 2nd will be 2 years this year. But so I was just about almost a year in when I came into recovery last year, and I still like really couldn't read, like, and I'm really big at reading and talking. I love to talk. And
Yeah.
it was super frustrating feeling so kind of like dumbed down. You can't really like do a lot of the same movements, but like really even just the communication. So I kind of just like didn't really talk about it. Like, I was just like, it's just never happened. Don't worry about it.
Mm.
Like, and so I was wearing wigs and all this stuff for like the past almost 2 years. And so finally in December, when I took out my hair is finally, to a good length. I'm like, and it feels good. So it's like all these small things. Like, I mean, who would have known not drinking anymore helps your brain recover from surgery?
Right.
No way.
Right.
No way.
Wait. You're telling me that stopping putting these destructive substances in your body is
Yes.
helpful for recovery of the brain, even without the surgery part.
Yeah.
That's insane. I don't believe it. I don't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
You know what it also helps with is the uncertainty when you get that diagnosis, right? And you don't know where to go or what to do. I was like, oh God, I have this toolbox. Oh, I can talk to people, I can seek therapy, I can do all those different things. So I can actually walk through this big thing that's about to happen
Mhm.
to me,
Yeah.
you know? So it's amazing.
Going into the show today, I just kind of thought this would be a very lighthearted. Oh, cool. We'll talk about. But I'm so glad. I mean, I thought it'd be a fun show, and it has been a fun show. But this is incredible. I didn't know that we would be talking about. I knew a little bit about your story, but I didn't know we'd talk more about it. And I didn't know anything about your story. So this is, and you work. I work with you,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got some depth. You've been. I can't talk. Maybe I need to go get checked. You've seen some things. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know you've seen some things. And here you are doing this work, to bring people to the table to show, to bring the hope, but to show that okay, yeah, we've seen some things, we've done some things. Now let's do some new other fun things and get through it. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Justin, how does
Yes.
wellness fit into your recovery?
Uh,
That's a great answer.
yeah. It's the thing. Well, it's
Hmm.
so God. son of a bitch.
It's catching, isn't it? It's like when I
Yeah.
start doing it, yeah.
It's I don't know when it's kind of I say kind of, I'll just be honest about it. It's the thing that allows me to let my addiction run rampant a little bit.
Mm.
I go to the gym every single morning. Me and Teresa go every single morning. And that's kind of, see, with me, like I have to kind of, what's the words I'm looking for? I don't know. You caught me off guard.
Well, no, okay, and I'm sorry. I'm
No.
yeah.
I'm going to get through this thought. So, um, I have to let my disease play a little bit, because if I don't, it's going to build up and build up and build up, and then one day something bad's going to happen. So I have to let it out a little bit. And the way that I do that is through going to the gym. you know that's and I'm absolutely addicted to going to the gym. If I don't go, we were talking about this morning on the way back. If we don't go to the gym in the morning, the whole day is off. Things feel weird,
Mm.
and it's become part of our routine. And I can't. I have to. We take Sundays off. I hate Sunday mornings because we don't get to go to the gym. I mean, there's something to be said about laying in bed and all that good stuff, but like, I'm so used to waking up and getting my body to a certain point, like both physically and mentally. Like, when I don't have that, it throws my entire day completely off. I just don't feel physically or mentally right. And that's been a huge part of my personal recovery. Just simply for the fact that, it's not necessarily a replacement, but it's a healthy alternative to the things that I was doing. A much healthier alternative to the things that I was doing. And it allows me to, in the best way that I can say this, get that fix. you know because when you get there and you kind of warm up a little bit, and maybe at first you don't feel all that great, but then all of a sudden something clicks, like you said, when you get to mile 3 or whatever, you get that calmness. And when I'm lifting, you know I get to a certain point where my body just feels good. I feel in harmony with what I'm doing, and I just want to keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a very calming feeling. It's a very good feeling. So that's how wellness plays into my personal recovery.
See, once he found the
Yeah.
words were powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's actual science behind this too. It's
100%.
yeah, and I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so you can quote me or whatever. Or don't quote me. I'm saying, but the dopamine releases,
Yeah.
the adrenaline, all of that, building up and putting it, the good chemicals into your body and releasing the toxins out of your body. That's why I spend time in the state room to breathe, to really to. That's because my lungs are the part of my heart are the part of my body I worry about the most right now. Um, and I do that. I think about what's happening in here. I think I'm very intentional about my breathing, especially when I'm swimming, because the swimming you have to be very intentional. And I'm only swimming in a pool. It's not like I'm swimming with choppy water everywhere. But to be able to be very intentional about the breathing and to be very intentional about the heart and knowing that I'm going to release these toxins. I'm going to sit in that jacuzzi. I go back to this all the time, girl. Sit in there, but I'm going to, allow that my aching muscles get recuperated by the pulsating jets because I know it's releasing the toxins and making the blood flow through my body. And let's also do a shout out to the showers at the gym because I can sit and take a 45-minute shower and I'm not worried about the water bill. At the end of the day, I'm not going to run out of hot water either. But in all seriousness, though, it's a lot that goes for me. The ritual of going, the ritual of getting up in the morning and putting on, the clothes, and it's a ritual, and I enjoy that ritual. I get you on the Sunday part. I'm a Saturday, Sunday, and I've gotten the last 2 weeks. My habit's been to book an hour in the pool instead of the half hour. Excuse me. instead of a half hour, and that's made all the difference because I know once I get past like 10 laps, that's when the calm starts to come in.
Yeah.
And I've trained myself so that, when I get in the pool, I'm not rushing into a harder stroke. I go through a very easy backstroke for the first couple laps and get myself into it, calm myself down, very intentional about, okay, this is where I am, being in the moment, flushing out all the thoughts, the intrusive, unnecessary, unhelpful, disquieting thoughts that penetrate. And that's why I love doing it in the morning is, I can get myself into a calm because I wake up. I don't know about you, and I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm the kind of guy who wakes up and is like, all right, got to do this, 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 and it's a constant go, 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 go in my head. That may not come out in what my action. In fact, it frequently does not come out in my actions because I'm constantly getting myself tripped up. So it's really, really, really important for me to set a tone of calm first thing of the day. And if I don't swim, I do take time to meditate. Always take time to meditate in the morning because I know it's so important to me. Anyway, we're coming up on the hour. I have delegates to piss off, and I know, that we've had a really robust and awesome conversation. And I hope you'll join us. We can make this a regular every Wednesday if you're up for it.
Wellness Wednesdays.
On Wellness Wednesdays, we'll have you back on the show. If
Wednesdays.
not every time you're here, at least.
We'll
Every
bring
once
in
in a
some
while.
guest speakers every now and then.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Recovery wellness.
Dun, dun, dun.
Water is my favorite way. Oh no, wait, go back.
Wait.
Water is my favorite way to find spirituality. Alyssa McEwen says, and amen, Justin. You are.
STS.
What does he say? Jason Eve says, amen, Justin. What you say, what you are. Oh my goodness.
What you're saying
Thank you.
completely resonates with me.
That wasn't on
There
Jason.
you go.
That's me. My eyes. I need checking. Patrick saying insightful, leaving it right there. Thank you everybody for being on the show. Do you have any? I'll let you have the last word. Any last thoughts, Justice?
Not justice.
It's a thing.
Not justice.
I heard Justice League and I was like, are you taking
No.
no last words?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Love you.
Mhm.
All right. Any last words?
No.
No.
No. I mean, what?
Girl, I don't know.
I mean, but you're making it sound like. I mean, am I expected to have a last word?
There are no expectations.
Expectations lead to disappointments.
Yeah, well, yes, and resentments. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Expectations are premeditated resentments.
Heard that.
I have to. Yeah. It's not just something I came up with in my brain. Any last thoughts and words?
No, I just want to thank everybody at McShin. Really huge shout out to Honesty when I reached out to her for supporting everything with the Phoenix, and Nathan for getting involved. Monique, it's just a pleasure to work with. Justin, always good to see. And find us, www.thephoenix.org, and come hang out. We're doing a lot of good things.
Perfect. And there it is right there, scrolling there.
That's us.
I cannot
The
read.
Phoenix.org.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more fun in Richmond as well.
Wellness Wednesdays. What are we gonna do? Like, what was it? Tuesdays was what? Termination? No,
not termination. No, the women have transformational
Transformation.
Tuesdays,
Well,
kind of
that-
like transformational festivals.
but
you
there's a
guys.
termination when you have a transformation, right?
We can get back to that another
yeah,
day.
let's-
What do we do? What about Thursdays? What do we do Thursdays?
What there?
No, we have to. Have,
I mean,
I like
look.
alliterative names as well. So we could have Thirsty
Oh.
Thursdays.
That's
Turn up.
that meant something else in a
Thursdays,
prior life.
Fair enough. On that note, great to have everybody
All
today.
right.
Will we? Do we have a show tomorrow? We've posted everything for the week, haven't we?
Yes.
Wow.
Am I
Except
gonna
for
do one on
this.
Tuesday?
We'll talk. I think Tuesday. No, Tuesday is honesty next week.
Okay.
All right. Well, look, I know we
Works
got a
out.
show up Friday at 3. Is that we have a random time, or are we just recording?
Probably just going to be recording.
So I have no idea what's going on, which is frequent here. So I just want to say thank you to the Phoenix for coming and doing Wellness Wednesday with us. It was freaking awesome to have you, Doug. It's great to see you, Monique. You're a wonderful co-host, and I appreciate both of you sharing very intimate details of your recovery. And all of you out there watching, participating, thank you. We love you. Take care, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace out.